Did I miss the memo? Did I miss the big announcement? I feel like I am pretty tuned into the mainstream media. I feel like I keep a close eye on deacons at Woke United Methodist, and you guys help me out a lot with that. Every day, my email inbox is filled with potential topics and stories. But over the past 10 days, I feel like I've missed something. When did Kaitlan Collins, Katie Roo! When did the Roo develop this perception of being a big star in cable news? Keyword, perception. Because when you look at her ratings, it is abundantly clear that the Roo is nowhere close to being a star. Since, she tends to finish in last place every night. I know CNN presents her as a star. I know the Cemetery News Network desperately wants her to be a big star. But in terms of ratings, Katie Roo Collins, she is barely clinging to the top 10 at CNN. The Roo is barely clinging to the top 10 at a network that does not have a single mainstream draw on the payroll. She is dominated in the ratings by the veterinary room with Wolf Blitzer. Woof, woof, woof. She's handily beaten by the other aging fossil at CNN, Chris Wallace. Who's talking to Chris Wallace? Well, I have no idea, but I can tell you who's not talking to Chris Wallace: the audience. Katie Roo Collins, she is beaten in the ratings by something called Fareed Zakaria GPS, a painfully boring show where some dude named Farouk gives the dozens of people watching directions to Woke United Methodist. Hey there, my name's Farouk. I see you're having trouble finding our place of worship that's led by the wicked wee Joy Reid. Hop in the Bruce Caboose, make a U-turn at Cucumber Circle, turn left on the Butt Bongo Expressway, turn right on Lemon Lane, the home of freshly squeezed Don's lemons, make another right on Whoopee Cushion Way, enjoy the fresh smell of the Boodle Breeze, and our church will be on the left. You can't miss it. It's the building with the steeple in the shape of a woke wiener. Damn near every show at CNN outperforming Kaitlan Collins in the ratings. So I am incredibly confused as to why CNN continues booking the Roo on these mainstream shows. I'm confused as to why CNN keeps making failed attempt after failed attempt trying to make the Roo the face of the network. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. A couple of weeks ago, Katie Roo Collins, she was the guest on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Now, this was a rare opportunity for Kaitlan Collins to speak to an audience that is counted by the millions, instead of speaking to her usual audience, which is counted by the dozens. During her appearance, Steph Colbert made a comment about the Cemetery News Network that the audience thought was a joke. Steph looked at Roo and said with a straight face, "I know you guys are objective at CNN. Your only focus is reporting the news." Naturally, the audience reacted the way anyone would react when hearing something that comical. The audience heard that remark and said, watch for yourself.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. Oh, I know. CNN makes a... I know.
Is that supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
You know your network has a problem when even the audience in New Woke City knows you're full of shit. You know you have a credibility problem when even a liberal audience knows you are clearly biased. Katie Roo Collins, she was essentially laughed off stage when she was a guest on The Late Show. She was bewildered. She couldn't believe it. She doesn't understand why she's not being taken seriously. Now, this is one of the many reasons I said last summer that it was a mistake for Kaitlan Collins to take over this primetime dump at CNN. Kaitlan Collins, she wants to be perceived as a serious journalist. She wants to be prestigious, and that is never going to happen as long as she is collecting woke welfare at CNN. Friday night, We get home from the football game and I turn on Bill Maher. Normally, Bill Maher has actual stars on his show. So far this season, he has interviewed Andrew Cuomo, the older brother of the face of the news nation, Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C! He has interviewed Charlie the False God from The Breakfast Club. Before he went on break last month, Bill Maher interviewed Pete Buttigieg, or whatever the hell his name is, the dude that's responsible for demolishing the transportation system across the country. But imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when I turn on HBO Friday night and I see the beautiful face of Kaitlan Collins. Oh my Ruru! This 15 minutes of fame, it has been absolutely brutal on Kaitlan Collins, the young woman who wants to be perceived as a serious journalist. She keeps having to answer tough questions about why she works at an unserious network. During the interview, Bill Maher, he claimed to be a big fan of CNN. Yeah, Billy is such a big fan of CNN. He followed that up by insinuating that he doesn't even know when his own show airs on the network. Bill Maher mentioned the embarrassing moment on Stephen Colbert where Kaitlan Collins was essentially laughed off stage. He mentioned that CNN is supposed to be the network that both sides can watch. And he's right. Believe it or not, CNN used to be the news network. If you wanted opinion-based journalism, if you wanted someone to confirm your own beliefs, you watched Fox News or MSNBC. But if you were just looking for the news, if something major was happening in the country, you watched CNN. Now, of course, that ship sailed long ago. Hell, CNN's ship, it's not even capable of sailing anymore. It's sinking. But instead of Kaitlan Collins being honest, instead of Kaitlan Collins doing something unimaginable at CNN, telling the truth, she goes into defense mode. She grabbed the polish and she tried to make something appealing out of this rancid turd. Watch for yourself.
You made press because you were on Stephen Colbert's show, and he said, you guys at CNN just report the news straight, and the crowd burst into laughter. That tells you a lot, doesn't it? I mean, how do you guys think you are doing? CNN should be the place where both sides can watch. How do you think you're doing with that?
CNN is the place where both sides can watch. And I think, you know, my show is evidence of that. We have lawmakers on from both parties. We'll have Elizabeth Warren on one night. We'll have Ted Cruz on another night.
Talking about the people on CNN, I watched Kamala's speech last night. It ended at 8:09, well, I guess 11:09 in the East. It wasn't until 11:23 till the one conservative guy, what's his name?
Scott Jennings.
This Lonely Scott, I call him. From 8:09 to 8:23, they were just gushing about how great a speech it was. And I think she did fine. But if I'm a conservative in America and I'm watching CNN, that's what I hear for 15 minutes, is it's great, and then Lonely Scott. It does look like tokenism. It's kind of like the same as The View. It's like it's almost better to have nobody there.
I feel like I can speak with authority on this. I'm from Alabama. I'm from a very red state. I have a very conservative family, a lot of them who are Trump voters. They watch my show every night, and I think they know that they can trust me.
This has got to be embarrassing. This has got to be aggravating for Kaitlan Collins. Like I keep saying, she wants to be taken seriously, but she is never going to be taken seriously because she works at a network that can't even be honest with themselves. I have been telling you guys for years, one of the biggest problems at CNN, besides a complete lack of star power, is a complete lack of an identity. Bill Maher just compared CNN to The View. It doesn't get more insulting than that. If someone compared me to the Yentas on The View, I would quit this channel and go get a real job at 5-Star Frank's, home of the supersized wiener. Kaitlan Collins is absolutely delusional if she thinks CNN caters to both sides. Yes, Katie Rue interviews people like Ted Cruz, but that's not what Bill Maher's talking about. Quick, name a prominent conservative voice at CNN. Name one. Bill Maher named some dude, I think his name was Scott Jennings. I've never heard of him. I cover CNN. I cover the media for a living. I've never heard of Scott Jennings. Towards the end of the clip, Katie Roos said, "My audience can trust me." Yeah, Rue, I look down the list of people I trust. Your name ain't on the list. Look, I would have a hell of a lot more respect for Kaitlan Collins if she had the courage to be honest. Just own it. Just own the fact that you are working for a network that is one of the many propaganda wings at Woke United Methodist. I don't agree with damn near anything that I see on MSNBC, but I will watch MSNBC before I watch CNN. Matter of fact, I actually watch MSNBC about as much as I watch Fox News. Why? Even though I don't agree with MSNBC, at least there is some level of honesty. Joy Reid does not hide her bias. Rachel Maddow does not hide her bias. The Wicked Weave might be detestable, but I can at least respect the fact that Joy Reid is honest enough to be upfront with her bias. Same thing with Fox News. Sean Hannity, he doesn't hide the fact that he is in love with the Trumper. When I watch Sean Hannity, I know exactly what I'm going to get. Complete opposite at CNN. CNN wants to insult your intelligence. CNN thinks we're stupid. We have conservative voices. We hired Alyssa Farrah Griffin. We hired Anna Navarro. When they filled out their application for woke welfare, they said they were Republicans. You expect me to believe the great pretender is a conservative? You expect me to believe that Andrea Navarro is a conservative? The same Andrea Navarro that just hosted the DNC? I don't understand this strategy from CNN. I don't understand why they keep sending Kaitlan Collins to these mainstream shows to continue lying about their network. Own your bias, because the thing is, no one believes your lies anyway. No one is biting into the shit sandwich. There was not a single person in that audience Friday night that believed Kaitlan Collins when she was defending CNN and claiming they weren't biased. There is no defending the indefensible. I understand why CNN wants Kaitlan Collins to be the face of the network. I mean, she's young, she's beautiful, she's intelligent, very well spoken. When you look at the rest of their roster, who else can they send to do these interviews? Andy Cooper? Wolf Blitzer? Chris Wallace? Chris Wallace has been knocking on heaven's door for so long the door fell off the hinges. Kaitlan Collins, she was a good reporter, but she's just not a good host. Even when she is arguing with someone, which in most cases it's a conservative guest that she's arguing with, but even when she's arguing with someone, she struggles to be entertaining. Ratings at CNN, they've increased this summer due to everything that's been going on, but that is only temporary. As soon as this election is over, CNN's ratings, they will return to their rightful place in the pooper. But give me your thoughts on this. Another embarrassing appearance by Kaitlan Collins as she continues defending the indefensible. Would CNN be more appealing if they were honest about their bias? Is Kaitlan Collins capable of carrying the primetime lineup? Is Kaitlan Collins capable of being the face of CNN? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.